Hello and welcome to Victoria's Surf Coast, and Torquay plays host to round 5 of the Summer of Surf. We're here for the Jim Wall Ironman Classic, and joining me in commentary is a former winner, former professional Ironman and local Jack Hansen. Jack, welcome back to Torquay.
Thanks, Josh. It's great to be here. Good to be home and back in God's country.
You love this part of the world, Jack, and we've got a great day of racing coming up. The Ironwoman and Ironman events are going to kick us off. Board, run, swim, run, ski, and then the ones that everybody wants, the Taplin finals. Some really strong fields here. The best of the best have made their way south.
Yeah, we've got a huge contingent of great athletes in every race today, so it's going to be very exciting.
Bigger than normal fields at the moment. 24 will go around in the Ironwoman as we take a look at the start list. Some of the big guns there early on, Tara Coleman and Maddie Dunn. Who do you like in this one, Jack?
It's quite a long race, Josh. Last time we had an endurance race down at Redhead, it was Lizzie Wellborn, and I think the young gun is certainly going to be one to watch.
The girl from North Bondi, certainly a star of the future, but she has a big field of competitors to contend with. The endurance format and the girls are away. The order we will race in today is run, swim, ski and board to finish. Longer than normal, and already Kirsty Hardstaff from Currumbin out in front leading this opening run leg. Looks like Maddie Dunn's in there and Gemma Smith as well. That tire, Jack, is a long way out. A lot of running in this race and a real endurance test.
It makes it a really tough race, Josh. These long runs are really going to test the girls from the beginning. Those that are quick across the sand are going to have a big advantage.
And already we see a couple of girls taking a few different lines here into the surf at Torquay. Not the biggest conditions we've seen in the Summer of Surf so far, but certainly ones that will test our competitors. And Hardstaff from Currumbin just takes a small stumble there, so a little bit of uneven ground at the moment. The rest of the field chasing hard, and this is really going to hurt the girls getting into that second and third leg, having to make their way across this bank.
We've seen a couple of the girls here have a bit of trouble with the potholes, and that's certainly going to be something that comes into play throughout the day.
Of course, the banks aren't always even. You get a few little divots and the girls go down every now and again running in. You can't see them sometimes, so that'll be something to be aware of as the race goes on. But they're into the stroke and out in the water. It looks like still Kirsty Hardstaff from the Currumbin Club, formerly of City of Perth. She's made the trip over to the East Coast to train with Coach Michael King at Currumbin. And of course, Maddie Dunn, another ex-competitor from the Michael King stable, now down at Northcliffe on the Gold Coast. So a good record for these two. And right in front of us, Gemma Smith from Umina, somebody we've seen come so close in a lot of these Ironwoman events. She's been in the top 5 and 6 for most of the rounds. Will today be the day she can break through and claim a victory?
Oh, it very well could be, and the racing's going to be very different today. With these larger fields, it's going to make a huge difference with the girls.
It'll be M-shaped racing as well, so the girls will make their way through the break twice on each leg. They'll head from left to right around the cans, back out to sea, and hopefully with the point, they'll run those waves back down to the transition. It looks like the field is starting to come together on the way back home, and there's enough surf to shake things up here, but not enough to really ruin anyone's day. So our leaders, it still looks like Gemma Smith, and then it is Lizzie Wellborn from North Bondi there on the right-hand side. So the two young guns, Gemma Smith's down a wave out in front. A perfect start to this Ironwoman race for her, and the young guns really aren't afraid of reputations. They aren't afraid to go out on their own, choose their own line. These are the stars of the future.
Absolutely, but Gemma Smith's just come off the back of that front wave. That may cost her as these girls come through on the one behind.
Oh, they are. It looks like there's 2, 4, 6 there. A couple of the Northcliffe caps. You'd expect Eliza Smith, Maddie Dunn. Of course, there is a Manly cap in there. Taylor Paskaric, she's a great swimmer. She's won surf races in the Summer of Surf before, so expect her to be at the front. The girls will make their way in now. We see them duck dive. A couple standing up, getting those knees out of the water. Jack, how tough is it to get up and have to wade at this point of the race? And a few just taking a little bit of the wrong direction there. So not some great lines there from the girls on the way in. It looks like Tara Coleman running hard from North Burleigh.
So what these girls are trying to do, Josh, is get themselves to that can we see in the water's edge. That's our turning can for the M shape for them to head back out to sea. They have turned and come straight in from that first buoy. I think that's trying to use the surf and get themselves back to the beach as quick as possible, running in the shallow water rather than trying to swim back on an angle to that can.
Hannah Scully and Alex Nolan, they're trying to get back into the mix here, and already the field's so spread out. Maddie Pryor, a former professional Ironwoman, a long way back in the field, but watch her come through on the ski leg. Grace Kaiho, another one of the young guns there, and Jordan White from Warilla Barrack Point. But after only half of the first leg, the field's already strung out over maybe 200 metres as we see them turn for home, and the waves are causing havoc. We've got a jag on out the back, and Northcliffe caps down it. It looks like they're the Maroochydore, so Grace Kaiho, a great performance there from another one of the young guns. So Gemma Smith, she's only 17. Lizzie Wellborn's only 17. Grace Kaiho's only 16, and they're all at the front of this race at the moment. Unbelievable from the young ones.
Yeah, they're great competitors, Josh, and they're certainly girls that we're going to see coming through. They're coming through now, and they're going to have a long future in surf sports.
Maddie Dunn from Gemma Smith, Taylor Piscaric's there as well. We see Grace Kaiho and Alex Nolan at the front of this race. Still a long way to go. Expect the likes of Danielle McKenzie, Tara Coleman, who just swims up on the cameraman there, trying to work themselves back into this on the ski and the board. The older girls, they're a little bit stronger as they get another wave. So these little waves are making all the difference. But those older girls, they're a little bit stronger. They can handle the skis better. They can handle the board better. Expect them to make their move later in the race.
With that experience, Josh, with that age comes the skills as well. And these skills are certainly going to come into play in this endurance format when the girls are tired.
One girl who isn't worried about waiting for the rest of the field is Gemma Smith. Maddie Dunn hot on her heels as well. You can see the potholes there on the ground. Gemma Smith just makes her way through, but that darker water on the ground there, that's the deep water. The girls go in, oh, there's a stumble there. We see how tough it is. Lizzie Wellborn, no drama. She charges through it. Alex Nolan's there. Grace Kaiho as well. Hannah Scully's in the mix, and Tara Coleman. So if it's not tough enough that you're trying to battle the competitors, you're trying to battle the sand as well. As Gemma Smith up and around. This is her first trip down south to Torquay to race this event, a race steeped in history, Jack. 54 years this one's been running, and the list of winners on it is very long and distinguished.
Well, they do say it's not only the longest running Ironman event in Australia, but in the world. It's certainly one that's steeped in history, like you said, Josh. So is the surf club that stands up behind us.
Your home club, Jack, here, one you made very famous in your younger years, but just how tough is it to win a race like this? You look at some of the names that have won it in the past, your Harriet Browns, your Danielle McKenzie's, then you look at the men's, Wes Berg, Matt Poole, Matt Bevilacqua, yourself. It's really a race that people want to win. It goes on their resume, and they're very proud of that achievement.
You're leaving yourself out of that, Josh, too. One winner, someone who's won it in the past as well.
Yeah, my year must have been easy. Lizzie Wellborn is not taking it easy. She's heading out to sea onto the ski at the moment. Grace Kaiho right next to her from the Maroochydore Club up on the Sunshine Coast. She's a junior kayaking champion, so expect her to remain in the mix here, as it looks like Eliza Smith on the left-hand side as well, chasing hard, but it's Gemma Smith out in front at the moment. Such a young gun, but she claimed a ski race title in the Summer of Surf earlier on, so we know she can handle her craft. But the one person you don't want chasing you is Maddie Dunn. We know how tough of a racer she is, originally from Caloundra on the Sunshine Coast. She will just grind it out with the winners every time she hits the water.
It's certainly going to be interesting here with these young guns, with Gemma Smith out in front. Can she hold off these older, more experienced girls when it comes to the crunch?
Or can some of these back markers start to move in it? Alexandra Britton there, originally of Tasmania, now racing up on the Gold Coast for North Burleigh. So she'll be used to the water here, and that's something we haven't spoken about, the conditions. There's a little bit of wind coming through, we can see at the moment, as Danielle McKenzie's a little bit further back than we'd expect, but you expect her to come through on this leg. It's cold down there, down south. The wind's really, really tough as well. How much do these conditions come into play, and being used to them and being able to race in them, how much does that help your chances?
It's certainly a real test for these girls from Queensland. Up north, the girls further north, Queensland, New South Wales, may struggle with the conditions and with the temperature of the water.
Not Alex Britton, she's from Tasmania, so nice and cold down there. You'd expect her to revel in these colder temperatures, and it looks like Gemma Smith's enjoying it just as much out in front. Danielle McKenzie working hard to get in this one. Would it be too much to say that she's the best ski and board Ironwoman competitor in the country at the moment?
Oh, she's certainly one of them. It is a big call to call her the best. You know, the likes of Geordie Mercer and girls like that would certainly question that.
The girls aren't here today, but Danielle McKenzie is, and she wants to add a Jim Wall Ironwoman title to her resume. Lizzie Wellborn, we saw her do so well in Redhead just 2 rounds ago. Claimed the victory there, a similar Ironman, M-shaped endurance format. She worked her way through and really attacked on that board. And with the board the final leg, expect a big move from her, especially sitting 3rd at the moment. She's on the yellow ski going around the can. Alex Britton there has paddled her way into 4th place, so a great performance from her as well, looking to move up the overall standings in the Ironwoman. But Gemma Smith, she's not going backwards on the front. That pink ski on the left-hand side making her way home. Maddie Dunn as well, as the waves start to loom on the outside. This could shake things up, but it looks like Gemma Smith's working down one. She loves it. She pushes hard for it. It looks like she's going to get it as Lizzie Wellborn pushes as well. She'll get down one, sits back, takes a rest, sets her sights on the leaders. Maddie Dunn has left it very late there on the purple. She bounces over the top and she will not go down it. So a mistake there from Dunn. Lizzie Wellborn goes straight past her into 2nd place, and it's back to the 17-year-olds on the front in the lead.
These 17-year-old girls are doing a great job out in front. As we see Wellborn, Smith's just stuck in a little bit of dead water there. She's not on a wave, so this may catch Wellborn up. She might come up over the top of Smith here, and she has.
Exactly what you said has happened there. Gemma Smith just got caught in the deep, dead water there. Lizzie Wellborn leans back, tries to keep it straight. Oh, that's not what you want, Lizzie. You got to keep paddling. No, she goes sideways. She swung it around, and Gemma Smith's off as well. So the commentators curse as soon as we give them a wrap, and I think Gemma Smith's running with the paddle there, so that's not what you want to do. Look at that water dragging her back out to sea. She throws the paddle, tries to get back involved. The girls have got to make their way around this orange turning can and head back out, and they've just opened the door for the back markers. So we gave Maddie Dunn a bit of a lashing there for pulling off that wave, but it seems to have paid dividends as Alec Britton makes a small mistake as well. Gemma Smith 1, Ali Britton 2, Maddie Dunn 3, Taylor Piscaric 4, and Lizzie Wellborn on the yellow has straightened herself up, and she will head out in our top 5. So small mistakes, and we've seen all summer long, small mistakes make a big difference at the end of races.
The likes of Lizzie Wellborn and Gemma Smith have spent very little time on their skis compared to these older, more experienced girls, and it's what we spoke about earlier. Those experienced girls, they've had time to work their skills, they know how to get it right and make the right choices in these small, tricky conditions.
Oh, and it's tricky to get the skis around this turning flag. Look at how tough the girls are doing it at the moment, but out in front it's not tough, that's for sure. Ali Britton has paddled her way into the lead alongside Gemma Smith. Lizzie Wellborn trying to hold on. A little bit of desperation there in the face of Lizzie Wellborn. Look at her eyes on the back of the leaders there, making sure she leans into the wash. Sitting at this point, oh, as a couple of girls are still heading in. Jordan White and, no, sorry, Maddie Pryor there from Warilla Barrack Point. Ella Heiniger trying to get around, and this is one of the toughest things you can do in surf, trying to get your ski around a flag in on the beach there and make your way back out to sea. Ski's still going all different directions. Oh, one's off at the moment. She'll take another off on the way out. That is not what you want. Eliza Smith trying to work her way back into this race. Another one of the professional girls alongside Tara Coleman. They must be thinking to themselves, what is going on? The young guns are absolutely smashing it here today. They're out in front and showing the more established veterans what to do.
Oh, the young girls are putting on a clinic, and they're showing the older girls that they're here to race, and that they're not only here to race, they want to take it to them. They want to push the pace up in front because they know they're capable of doing it.
Reputations mean nothing in Torquay. It's all about putting it on the line and getting the job done. It looks like a couple of these back markers trying to work their way into it, and Danielle McKenzie is halfway through her best leg and doesn't seem to be making up any ground on our leaders. These waves certainly aren't making things easy as well. Just enough to slow you down if they land on your lap, but certainly enough to give you a massive lead if you can get one on your own. And it looks like Lizzie Wellborn turns around, keeps looking for a wave on the way in. Gemma Smith picks one up on the front. She is one leg away in the lead with just the board leg to go. The 3 chasers there, Ali Britton, Lizzie Wellborn, and it looks like Taylor Piscaric from Manly on the left-hand side as well. So those are 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Maddie Dunn on her own wave in 5th place. I wouldn't count her out. If anyone's going to tough out this final leg, it's Maddie Dunn. Lizzie Wellborn tries to drop the heart rate on the way home, get herself set for her best leg. She's in prime position.
She's certainly one to keep an eye on, Josh, but how good is Gemma Smith out in front? In every leg, she's put herself out in front of the other girls. She's opened up a little gap, which shows at this stage she doesn't have a weakness.
From the small country club of Umina, she's getting it done in the big city and in the big show. Out in front, Gemma Smith leads into the final leg, flies across the sand. Danielle McKenzie still working her way out to sea, so she's a long way behind. I don't think we're seeing the best performance of Danielle McKenzie. You'd have to say something's not right.
I think I saw earlier, Josh, in one of the transitions pull up a little bit lame on her leg or ankle, so we may see something, you know, come into play later on.
The potholes may have claimed a victim already as Gemma Smith heads around for the board leg and heads out for the final time. Lizzie Wellborn, Maddie Dunn, Taylor Piscaric and Ali Britton there. They are 2, 3, 4 and 5. A couple of great board paddlers in Lizzie Wellborn and Maddie Dunn. Expect them to close the gap just ever so slightly. So Gemma Smith is the one out in front being chased by these 4 girls. Can anyone else get into this race, or is it a race in 5?
There's certainly plenty of time at this stage, Josh, for these 4 girls to catch Gemma Smith at the front. They're going to have to do the work, though. That's the hard thing. I think the rest may be out of the race at this stage.
Only time will tell. The girls are a little tentative as they head across the bank there, Jack. How much do the potholes... Oh, it's Maddie Dunn goes down, so does Taylor Piscaric. How much does the pothole start to play on your mind? You're heading out to sea. You don't want to roll an ankle. You don't want to trip over. It may give one of your rivals just that little gap that they need.
One of the major issues here at Torquay, Josh, is when that sand gets lost from out in front of the surf club, some rocks start to get exposed as well. So you might find, although we see them as potholes here, in the bottom of those potholes might be some little dangerous rocks that could cause the girls plenty of pain if they step on those.
Well, if it's not the competition, it's the conditions, as Tara Coleman makes her way around, as does Kirsty Hardstaff. Grace Kaiho still in the mix from Noosa. What a performance from her, the young gun, only 16 years of age. Lizzie Wellborn looks determined. She's on the front. Maddie Dunn struggling to hold on as Taylor Piscaric jumps on the back, and Ali Britton is off the train. Ali Britton is off the back, and it looks like she's doing it a little bit tougher than the other girls, so not the position you want to be in. Those 3 girls will be going so quick, as we can see the gap, probably 100 metres, has turned into 50 metres in a matter of seconds.
The girls have worked super hard, and we see that train. We see Ali Britton off the back, and that's maybe not a mistake as such, but she's tried to do the work herself, and these faster board paddlers in Wellborn, Dunn and Piscaric have made their gap and starting to close up on Gemma Smith.
Kira Kinsey heads out, another of the local girls, alongside Danielle McKenzie, so she's running all right at this point, but a lot further back than we would have expected. Maddie Pryor is in there, as is Jade Hardstaff from City of Perth. A couple of these girls, they are very, very long way back. I don't think they can get onto the podium at this point, but they're still fighting for points for our overall point score. Every race counts, every place counts. Everybody wants to win a Summer of Surf crown, and these girls are no different. Hardstaff heading out to sea at the moment, but a race in 5, and that gap's getting smaller and smaller for Gemma Smith.
Yeah, these girls are working hard. We look, we're on board with Maddie Dunn here. She's one of the chasers, sitting back on Lizzie Wellborn. We see Piscaric sitting back behind here and Ali Britton off the back. These girls know they've got to do the work now.
Gemma Smith turns for home, and she will be hoping for a wave at this point, because if it's a straight paddle to the beach, the field will get her. Lizzie Wellborn will catch her. She heads around the can in 2nd place. Maddie Dunn hot on her heels in 3rd. Taylor Piscaric in 4th. So a race in 4. Where's Ali Britton? No, she's right off the back. I think she's out of this one as well, as the waves start to come from the right-hand side of your screen. That southern swell really pushing through into the beach here. It's always going to come from the right to the left of your screen because of the point, as we see one start to peak there, a little bit of white water, and the girls head across. Kira Kinsey from just down the coast originally, now at North Burleigh. Like so many of these girls, head north to find warmer water. Coaches, more established clubs up there on the Sunshine Coast doing well back in the field, but out in front, Gemma Smith, and it looks like Lizzie Wellborn might have her.
Lizzie Wellborn's made her way up very well, and Gemma Smith's going to be very aware of how good Lizzie Wellborn is on that board. Lizzie Wellborn beat her in the under-17 national title last year. They're both under-17 again this year. They've gone head-to-head many times, and Lizzie Wellborn is certainly one that you can never count out.
Lizzie Wellborn almost beat everyone in the open board race as well. Only Lisbeth Plumers could get her 2nd at the Open Australian Championships, and she's showing why here out in front. And 2 stars of the future come come together on the lead wave. Lizzie Wellborn on screen right now, and Gemma Smith, the black cap, the white and blue stripes. They're just pointing to each other, giving them a little bit of a heads up on where to go. And the girls, they'll be very used to racing each other at the moment. And it looks like Maddie Dunn's been left behind. She'd expect her not to make mistakes like that, but pure board speed beats experience every time.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. Exactly what you said there. And these young girls are showing these older girls how it's done. They don't care that they've got a couple of years their senior. They know that they want to race these girls and they want the results.
Well, they're doing the right things as we speak. They head around that little turning can for the final time. We can see how difficult it's become inshore there. Lizzie Wellborn's back on and away. What are you thinking now if you're a competitor? Do you try and break away early in this board leg, or do you save it for a sprint up the beach?
Breaking away is certainly going to be on their mind, Josh, but it may come down to a sprint at the beach. So you want to have your legs right. You want to be ready to get off that board and run. What we're going to see here, Gemma Smith, Lizzie Wellborn, when they turn that last can, I assume they're going to try and go with the assistance of the ocean. They're going to try and work those runners. Someone is going to try and open up a gap on the way home.
But I wouldn't count out Maddie Dunn, that's for sure. She is just one wave back, and a great board paddler. Kira Kinsey pushes hard for home, takes a quick look around and is praying for a wave. How tough is it? Third leg, board race, forced to do twice the normal course for most girls as Hannah Scully makes her way around the can and heads back out to sea. It looks like they're Kirsty Hardstaff, Tara Coleman in the mix as well. So these girls, they've been working for so long, they really must have the heart rate right up at the moment. The arms are burning, the legs are burning. How do you keep going at this point as Maddie Dunn just collects a little bit of seaweed on the way out?
Yeah, what is difficult, we see Dunn there with the seaweed on her GoPro. She wants to get rid of that. She thinks that's going to slow me down. It's dragging in the water. Probably not going to have too much of an effect at this stage. We see it sitting up on her board.
What about the smell? That's probably not that good either. Right in your face, the final leg of an Ironwoman. That's the last thing you want. But our two leaders are out the back and making their way to the turning can. Danielle McKenzie, she is only back on shore, and she doesn't look like she's having a good time, that's for sure. Walking around slowly, maybe that ankle injury coming into play.
What we're going to see, Danielle McKenzie, she's still going to complete the course, Josh. This may come into being one of her top 4 results at this stage. Certainly important for all these girls that they get through the race and finish up.
We'll go through the point score. There's 8 rounds of the Summer of Surf, 8 shots at putting on a barnstorming performance, but only your best 4 count. So she may finish 8th, 9th, 10th here today, but at the end of the day, that may just be enough to get her across the line if she's got a couple of good results. One girl who is looking for a couple of good results is Lizzie Wellborn. She's already won 1 round this summer, round 2 in Redhead, but we've had no double winners this year. Carly Nerthen, Georgia Miller, Geordie Mercer and Lizzie Wellborn have been our 4 winners so far. Can we get the first person to win a double, or will Gemma Smith add her name to the honour roll? Kira Kinsey just heads up and over, so great shots there and great skills from Kira Kinsey. As Lizzie Wellborn on the way home, she's found a little runner. She's turned it into a wave. She may have turned it into the wind. Where did that come from? That wave came out of nowhere. Lizzie Wellborn's effort came out of nowhere, and she's pulled a rabbit out of the hat. She may have claimed this win, and heartbreak for Gemma Smith.
We've seen Lizzie Wellborn come over the front of that one there. What we see is these point break waves, like you said earlier, coming through from the right-hand side of screen. These girls are paddling over as we go around that course from left to right to pick up these waves and give them assistance on this last leg. Gemma Smith's got to stay on this wave if she's going to close that gap on Lizzie Wellborn, but I think it might be over, Josh. Lizzie Wellborn, well done.
Gemma Smith must be wondering what she has to do to beat Lizzie Wellborn, the Australian Championships and now the Summer of Surf, but take nothing away from our winner here. She high-fives her handler. I think that's Scotty Thompson, her coach, so former professional Ironman himself, one of the greats of the sport, and he is in charge of one of the future greats of the sport as well. Gemma Smith, you have been an absolute champion here today. You deserve more than what you'll get, but there can only be one winner, and today it will be North Bondi's Lizzie Wellborn. She claims round 5 of the Summer of Surf. Huge performance there from Lizzie Wellborn. Gemma Smith has to be happy. She has put on an absolute show, just fallen short here today, but I'm sure she'll be back to fight another day. The girls embrace. They can't be upset with that one. And Maddie Dunn, the more experienced campaigner, but only 22 years of age, still a young gun. She comes round in 3rd. Danielle McKenzie, but not the day she wanted, but she's still fighting it out. Like you said, great sportsmanship from her, trying to get as many points as possible. Maddie Dunn, very very happy with yourself as she crosses the line and looks at the other two girls and said, just too good today.
Certainly not what we're used to seeing from Danielle McKenzie, but she'll be back in the future to fight another day, Josh, for sure.
Well, Lizzie Wellborn claims round 5 of the Summer of Surf. Gemma Smith, so valiant in defeat. We head further down the page. Tara Coleman in 9th, Hannah Scully in 10th, Eliza Smith, Kira Kinsey, Danielle McKenzie. We head further down the page for the huge field, but what a race.
Yeah, it was a good race, hard race, bit of everything.
Water nice and cold.
Yeah, it's freezing.
How was that first leg?
The first leg was really hard. We've all been like shivering our brains out just waiting here, so we're a bit rusty on the start, except once you get into it, like everything warms up and you get into it, I guess.
You were in a great position off the ski. You felt confident going into the board?
Yeah, I felt good because obviously board's my favourite leg, and I knew Gemma was a really good board paddler, so I had a lot of work to do, so I just went in and went my best.
Taking out both the endurance races in the Summer of Surf. You're the new endurance queen, are you?
I like the endurance races, have time to get waves and catch up when you make mistakes and stuff, so I guess it's a bit better suited for the younger people when we're not as experienced.
Congrats.
Thank you.
As we take a look at the overall point score after 5 rounds, and Georgia Miller didn't go round today but is still in the lead. Maddie Jung jumps into 2nd place with her result there today. Lizzie Wellborn with only 3 results is 9th overall. Expect her to jump further up the lead. Kirsty Higginson and Eliza Smith round out our top 16. Well, that was the women's race. Stick with us because after the break, the Ironmen are added. Will there be more upsets? This is the Summer of Surf.